Good morning, everybody. I hope that you guys had a wonderful, 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 amazing, stupendous, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious weekend. We are June 8th. Oh my God, it's June. Holy cow. Yesterday, I attended two of the marches and movements for Black Lives Matter yesterday that are happening in Montreal. And one of them was literally in the backyard of our senior campus that was organized by Montreal Cares. It was a wonderful movement to be part of, and the highlight of it had to be seeing so many people from our community. So it is horrible that things like this are still happening in 2020, but it is hopeful to see people moving towards change and also young people towards change. So it was really nice to see that, and really, 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 really nice to see some of our Willingdon students from kindergarten all the way to grade 8, and I even saw some students who graduated from Willingdon who are now in CEGEP. So that was really, really, really heartwarming. Today's theme is struggle and is challenge. So Mr. Gabe, Mr. John, and I are going to talk to you a little bit about things that we have gone through, or things that we wanted to attain, and what we had to go through to attain these struggles and achieve our challenges. So enjoy.
Hey Willingdon, Mr. Gabriel here. Hope everyone's having a wonderful Sunday. As you can see, it's a beautiful afternoon. Today I'm with some friends at Park Jarry playing spike ball, of course maintaining our distance, but having a little fun. So in the next little scene, you're gonna see a real game of spike ball. Hope you guys enjoy.
Oh, it wasn't her at all. Or it was like all filtered.
I see the big one here.
Nice shot. That was a great shot.
But I want to see big one here.
Bro, why do you have to see it?
No, both.
Furious Nancy.
Hey, it happens. It happens.
Dream draws the name like that. I don't even know.
Yes. Got it.
So Triel.
For that.
What's up, Willingdon? So last week we recalled some of our favorite Olympic moments, and this got me thinking a little bit about resiliency. Olympic athletes are really well known for being able to overcome any challenges that are thrown their way. And although I'm not an Olympic athlete, I've also faced, some challenges during my lifetime. And one of the challenges that I'd like to share with you actually today is a couple of years ago, I was hiking Mount Washington with some friends. So if some of you like to hike, I strongly recommend you check out Mount Washington if you haven't already been. It's a really fun place to hike. But Mount Washington is known for being a pretty challenging hike. It's a big mountain. It's pretty steep. Parts of it are steep. But also it's known for its crazy weather. So for example, you could start your hike, it could be sunny, 30 degrees, and then an hour into your hike, it starts snowing out of nowhere. So all these things together, as you get closer and closer to the peak of the mountain, the weather, the steep terrain, if it starts to rain, some of the rocks get really slippery. So it's a very challenging hike, and again, depending on how fast you hike or what kind of shape you're in, it can take you a couple hours to get to the top. But it's not really the length that makes it challenging. It's just all the factors combined. And as you get closer and closer to the top, it gets more and more difficult, and your mind starts to play tricks on you. And I remember just feeling just mentally and physically exhausted, but what kind of kept me going was knowing that when I got to the top, how amazing the view would be at the peak of the mountain. And I remember when I finally got to the top, even though I was just burnt, I remember the amazing view and that feeling, that sense of accomplishment, that you really achieved something special, and you'd be able to hold on to that memory for the rest of your life was really, really nice. And of course, when we ate supper that night by the campfire, let me tell you something, that meal tasted really, really good. All right, guys, see you next week.
So this challenge or struggle that I want to talk about that pertains to physical activity was last year I signed up for a 1 kilometer swim in open water, and I only really learned how to swim laps and not just like in pools and lakes and stuff like that about a few years ago. So I challenged myself to triathlon a few years ago, and then I wanted to up the game by doing an open water swim, which is a whole other ball game because you can't touch the floor because it's like a lake and you can't go. So my friend and I trained for a long time in pools, and then we had to train in actually open water to be able to practice very similar situations. So we actually practiced for months, upping our game in terms of our distance, how many times a week we did it, and then going into open water. And we were going into open water in about June or July, which is a little bit cold. And our actual open water 1 kilometer swim was in the month of August. So the water was pretty chilly, but as you were swimming, it was really good. So all this to say is that it was difficult, but we set our goal and we set our steps onto how we were going to accomplish our goal, and always being with another person and doing it together made it a lot easier. So if you want to share one of your struggles or one of your physical challenges with us, we'd be more than happy to hear it. Okay, have a great day, guys. See you tomorrow. Peace out. 8 down.